Hello and welcome to my market outlook for next week's trading week. This is the first one, but I'm going to be making sure I do these every Sunday now going forward, doing a market outlook, covering all the currency pairs I can, agriculturals, Bitcoin, gold, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do before we get stuck in is see what the news is saying for next week. So far, NFP was last week, so we ain't got to worry about that now for another 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure NFP is on Wednesday, not NFP, FOMC is on Wednesday. Yeah, FOMC on Wednesday. We'll see what Jerome Powell's got to say for himself. No doubt he's going to spice it up as always. Flipping nightmare he is. But, oh well, he's got a job to do, I suppose. Yeah, unemployment claims, GDP for the pound, and Canadian news on Friday. So yeah, other than that, it's just I think all we've got to really worry about for US dollar trades is the FOMC. Yeah, cool. Right, let's get into it. So we've got the US dollar. I've had this demand zone marked up for some time now, which we've come into. That little faint green line I've got marked up here. That was a gap fill. That's what I used to scalp the Euro USD trade last week a couple of times. I did enter the swing trade, but I pulled it out before NFP. But I'm going to be re-entering that again next week. So that's cool. Yeah, the weekly time frame. Again, this is pretty much, I would say, a very good weekly zone that we've just tapped and rejected from. When you look at the close of this weekly candle on the dollar here, that's strong, bullish power coming into play now. So going forward next week, what would be nice, well, I can't see it happening, but what would be nice would be the next, candle just goes bang like that. But I can't see it happening straight away, to be honest. We'll go back onto the daily time frame. We've had, 1, 2, 3 good consecutive days of green candles coming out of this demand. I wouldn't be surprised if we do come back down here for another little try of this area, if I'm honest. I'm pretty sure I have seen a gap over here as well somewhere. Another one. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, level on top of a level. So if anybody's thinking of trading the US dollar next week, great shout, because you have got plenty of targets. Loads of targets. This is what I would be looking at. First target here, this little gap here. Nice little gap that, to be fair. And there's some more here as well. Thought it was anyway. Yeah, the dollar, that is what I'm looking at with the dollar. Some gaps to be filled. I do genuinely think we're going to come back down into this demand zone another time for sure, because the new weekly candle is going to need to create a bottom wick on the 4 hour. See if we can refine any entries. No, I'll just stick for this one here. So yeah, what I'm saying is wait for the dollar to come back into the demand there or thereabouts in this sort of area. Don't have to be, pinpoint accuracy as long as your stop loss is covering the rest of the zone. But yeah, no, not that one. This area here, that's where you would want the dollar to be in before you then start selling the euro against the US dollar. All right, we'll check the euro now actually. Yeah, the euro. Keep doing that. Euro on the daily time frame, right up in this real big strong supply. Might be weekly as well. I think it is. Oh, hello. Look at that gap there and there. Oh, look at that. Here we go. That one. That one. So yeah, there's your targets for yourselves. They're not very far away, I know, but there's your first targets. Hit these two targets out of the way. You know, trades this. This is the Euro USD. We're talking about basically. The trades this. Bang bang. First two zones. First two gaps. Sorry. All the way down. All the way down. And I do genuinely think we are going to be going. We break this. This is very strong demand now, by the way. If we manage to get through this demand, you're heading down to here. Minimum. Absolute minimum. For sure. I look at this is what I'm saying. Like people were being, optimistic about getting up, breaking these highs. 2020 COVID highs. These are. I don't think it's been much higher than that. Oh, yeah, it has. Yeah, 2018. 2008. That's strong supply, man. Three real strong supply levels, but anything can happen. We do break this last supply zone here, then the euro will be running straight up to this area here. The reason for that is look how clean these candles are. That's clean. That's a very very clean move down. So genuinely speaking, the cleaner the move to the left, the cleaner the traffic. I always refer it to the cleaner the traffic to the left. It should mimic the same move to the right. Head and shoulders patterns. You know, head and shoulders patterns. It's like an M in it, like the letter M. You always get the fit. How can I explain it? The finishing pattern of a head and shoulders basically looks like the letter M, and that's look how when you next see a head and shoulders pattern on all your charts, look how clean the move up is, head, shoulders, head, or whatever, and then follow it down the next side, and you'll see how clean it is. Then you see why. I mean, this here, I've just spotted it now. Look, massive head and shoulders. You almost could say here. This was the start of it. This area here, and this was it coming down. I don't know about you guys, but it's pretty much next door. Do you know what I mean? You know, there's your M. There's your letter M as well. So yeah, speaks for itself, doesn't it? Really. Plus, I've seen it time and time again. You know, like there's one thing you can't beat in trading is chart time and experience. Like a lot of where I come from is all experience, seeing it time and time and time and time again. And it's pretty cool to see, really. But the markets in today right, like as we speak now, they're a lot. They do seem a lot harder to trade than what they were 5 years ago. So yeah, this is what I'm. Yeah, this is the euro. Let's get on to the monthly. Get on the monthly on the euro. That don't really monthly. Yeah, monthly supply, but we're deep in it. We're really deep in it. Yeah, yeah. My game plan is to wait for it to get up a little bit around this area up here. I wish these things would stop popping up. Yeah, I do think the euro's got the potential to come up to this area again before it does want to drop. Because look at the rejections we had last week to the downside. Sellers aren't really in full control yet. There's no surprising really with the uptrend we got going on, but the rejection, that's a hell of a rejection. That's a rejection to the upside. That's a rejection to the downside. I did actually look at this daily candle. What day was it? Yeah, Thursday. I looked at this daily candle Thursday, and at one point it was all the way up the top here, and I was thinking, wow, that's going to turn bullish. But luckily it didn't. Quite surprised it's finished like that, to be fair. And just look at the trend, man. Like no stopping it. It's just powerhouse, powerhouse, powerhouse. Keep going. And then this is where I'm looking to target on the Euro USD short trade, all the way down here, because this drop was all because of Trump and his tariffs. Thought it'd be a great idea to tariff every country in the world, but made the market drop like a flipping stone. And it's hard to tell really on my trade station. I need to look at my trade station account, which is raw data, but I wouldn't be surprised if on TradeStation on the Euro futures there is some gaps around here because the market, the way the market, the candles are, it just doesn't look right. I mean, this is a gap here. I'd say. I reckon this is a gap. Nah. I was going to say I thought this was a gap here, but I don't think it is. It's hard to tell. Go on the 4 hour in a minute and have a little goosey gander. Let's try the 4 hour. Oh, huh. Well, there it is. There's the gap. So I told you I thought I saw a gap. Right, so there's your target then. Happy days. Well, there's my target. That's what I'm targeting. That there. See what I mean? This again, experience, guys. You can't be experienced. So that is my target. What a lovely little trade that's going to be. Yeah, there it is. Obviously, it's not going to happen in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. This trade, you'll probably, if you catch it right, get your re-entry on the Euro USD right next week. Hopefully, if it starts dropping tonight, going into Monday morning, um, don't just jump into it. Be sensible about it because it could be dangerous. But this is the trade, and that down there is the target, and we'll keep an eye on it as we progress forward over the coming weeks. I'll keep monitoring it. I'll keep doing updates about it, and all that good stuff. So what's next? The British pound. Oh, look at that beauty. So this is what I think I probably even put it on my Instagram. To be fair, I called this February. I think February, April time, March maybe. One of them. It was basically when the tariffs was on. So whenever it weren't February, no, it was April, March. And yeah, I called it. Waited for it to go up and then come down, tap, boom, where it goes. So that's the British pound. Right, let's look into the pound. Get rid of this. So we're looking at the British pound. So cross pairing it would be Great British Pound US dollar within the forex pair. or JBP CHF, British pound against the Swiss franc. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. GJ is a bit of a dangerous one, similar to gold. British pound, Japanese yen, that is. It's gone a weekly on the British pound. Yeah. So you could the thing is the way I look at the charts, right? I trade the way Burn trades, but I've scalped. I've learned smart money concept. I've learned sweep of liquidity, that sort of holy grail strategy. I I've probably spent a very long time learning numerous strategies, and I just in my brain the way I look at this chart, it all just comes together in my head, and so I look at it from so many different angles, and then I put the political events in amongst the equation as well. Um, and yeah, that's just how I see it really. So what I do see here is something very interesting. So these highs have now been broken, haven't they? Yeah, they have. We drew like a straight line. These highs have now been broken, and we have been uptrending since February. So, Max, what do we do here? What I reckon we do here, or well, what I personally think the British pound is, knowing the state of the country, I reckon it's going to get a little bit weaker, to be honest. On the weekly, it's hard. There's so many demand here. Extremely strong supply up here, which is the wider version of the supply there. And that was June 2021. So 4 years old, supply that's not been hit since. And we got, zoom out a bit more. That's uptrending nice and strong, isn't it? Plus all these weeklies that are really strong. Difficult one, this guy's not going to lie. Difficult one on the daily. That supply's not far away, really, when you look at it on the daily. Let's be honest. It's not that far away. It's not that far away at all. Could get a pullback into this little bit of demand here that's been made. Something like this. Go with the type version. Type version like that, yeah. Yeah, pull back into here. I know. Yeah, like this, perhaps. I wouldn't cross-reference trading this with the US dollar, guys, to be quite honest with you. They're two major, they're two powerhouse pairs. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're looking at the Danish krona. I think it's the Danish krona or the Danish kron or the Danish currency. You know, as the British pound to the Danish currency pair, the British pound would be the powerhouse of the two, if that makes sense. If you're looking at British pound, US dollar, they're both powerhouses. But yeah, the British pound is quite difficult, so there's not really too much more to say on that one. Australian dollar again. See, it's hard to make a decision on the Australian dollar. To be fair, it's just again all these uptrends are all from stems from the start of Trump's tariffs when he got into power at the start of the year. Look, yeah, every single one of them. Like these were the all-time lows on the New Zealand, not all-time lows, but like the deepest the New Zealand's gone for a very long time. AUD USD currency pair. It's a very good currency pair to trade if you're new to trading. Reason is because it's nice and slow and steady. It just chills. It is a pretty chill pair, to be honest with you. That's what I recommend. If new people want to just put a few quid in and hold a nice currency pair and chill with it for a few weeks, few months, AUD USD is the one for you. This is some strong demand I've just seen. But then what I don't like about it, which I'll tell you now, I just don't like the stair-stepping scenario. We've had power in this candle, but we've slowed down. Doesn't know where it wants to go. And if I'm completely honest, I think a lot of the way the market is doing what it's doing is it's unpredictable, because the world's unpredictable. No one knows what's going to happen. Like, it's so volatile. Everything is just so volatile. It's really hard to call some of these, to be honest. So yeah, there's nothing really on the Australian dollar that I really like or could point out, so to speak. I don't know, monthly again is a bit of a different story, but here's the lows. That's March. Nah. Yeah, here's the lows. So we could be making a nice deeply bottom wick on the monthly candle here before we then start pushing up. Because if you do look at it, yeah, we are proper in your so-called support zones as well. You know what I mean? Starting here, and yeah, it's just, so this area must be pretty exhausted with orders now. Looking at it like that, that is very big support, demand, whatever you want to call it. That's a big area that's been touched a lot of times on a monthly perspective. So it's going to do one or two things from here. It's just going to break these highs and just pump up now for a little bit. I say a little bit, monthly, couple of years, or it's just going to drop. But what would cause it to drop? Yeah. Hold fire on the Australian dollar. Hold fire. Yeah. New Zealand, same sort of scenario. Wait for a pullback, buy. So yeah, the New Zealand will be getting stronger, I would say. Yes. It's almost similar picture to the Australian. I think they're going to get stronger then, I do. You know what I was talking about with the US dollar scenario with the clean move up with the candles and the traffic, as in the letter M. I think I've seen the same thing here now with the New Zealand dollar. So you could get some it's going to take a little bit of time, but you could get a banging entry on the New Zealand dollar, See this demand here. Right down there. I will definitely be keeping an eye on this one. Clean move up. You could say, you watch this next week. Now, these candles, some nice consecutive red candles. Hypothetically speaking, support. These are your levels. Yeah, because price does move in levels as well, by the way. But we'll cover that another time. Yeah, so these are the levels. You break this level here, you're probably going to fill this wick here to the left. Then you'll have a lot of momentum on the daily time frame. Could get a bit tricky here. This could just be the pullback. Could take out these lows here before then dropping down, or it's going to do one or two things. It's going to take out these lows here and then go like that, or it's going to take these lows out here and then do this. And there is no gaps down here to fill. So yeah, take the wider version of this zone, this demand, and these are the scenarios on the New Zealand dollar. Swiss franc, right, this is going to be an important one. US dollar Swiss franc trade. Longs, buys that I am going to be re-entering next week. Daily, weekly, start with the weekly. Gaps, bang, bang. Cool, same as the euro, man. Very interesting, very, very interesting. It means it's ready to start going. I mean, look at last week's weekly. Not as in the week just gone, as in the week before last, not NFP week. Look at that rejection to the upside. That's good. That's good. Not so strong last week, just gone. Let's get some supply. If there's any supply over to our left. All rejection areas. There's a gap. No gap. Was a gap, but it's filled it. Can't really see there. Let's go on the daily. All the way up there. Is it going to get up there? Reach all the way up there? Good question. I can't see it personally, but you never know. Very interesting one. Yeah. We'll gap fill bang. We will see you miles away. Again, I'll go on my TradeStation account and actually look at the raw data on this one. I will do that indeedy. Nothing really relevant for it to be marked here, so it's like, yeah. So with the US dollar Swiss franc pair, you're basically relying on the US dollar. You're waiting for the US dollar to get into the demand before you enter a buy position. In regards to the Swiss franc, it's difficult to be completely honest with you. It is in this supply, but it's been this supply here. Quite deeply in it as well. Yeah, quite deep in it. I reckon this is going to start turning round again. And then again, look at the clean power move. So shoulder, head, shoulder, drop. As you can tell, art wasn't really my strongest point in school. Didn't really go school. Yeah. Weakness in the Swiss franc, definitely. I'm not going to bother looking at the Canadian because I don't like the Canadian dollar. It just bugs me. It's just I don't like the Canadian dollar. Every time I've traded the Canadian dollar over the years, it's always stung me. So stay away from it. Japanese yen, we're at lows, real low lows. Yeah, we are in real low lows. God, be peach if you could have caught it down here, you know. consolidation sideways. I think Japan. I haven't really looked up much about Japan recently, if I'm honest with you, but um, I think they were bankrupt or something bad happened to their currency. So they're still trying to find their feet. Hence the consolidation on the weekly time frame. I mean, look, we've been consolidating sideways, not really doing a lot since the 14th of April. So we'll look at the yen next Sunday, reevaluate. Mexican peso. I really like this pair. Well, I say pair. I like the Mexican pesto. I've done really good on it last year, trading it. I held the trade for a month doing this. It was it was that 1, 2, 3 weeks. Yeah, it was. It was that trade there. Yeah, I've got a picture of it as well somewhere. But yeah, I don't that was a good trade. I enjoyed that trade. Now it's just stair stepping in it. Other than that, I don't think there's really a lot to say or do with the Mexican pesto. It's all US dollar related. Euro, US dollar. There we go. Already marked, ready to rock and roll. This is the trade for the Euro US dollar next week. So what I am saying is I'm waiting for price to get up to around this area, potentially a bit higher. On this currency pair, Euro US dollar, once that is up in that supply area, the US dollar futures should be in demand and the Euro futures should be probably a little bit more deeper in that supply. So put your stop loss above this supply here and yeah, manage your risk and be sensible with it. Same with the US dollar Swiss franc. This is the idea. Again, very similar scenario that I'm going to be waiting for price to come a little bit deeper down. These two areas here, I put in my group for people. I refined onto the 4 hour for better entry. So yeah, entry around here. Stop loss below this real big zone here. So you're going to have to be sensible trading this one. The reason why I know Burns says, and I know people say cover 2 levels with your stop loss, it would take out the risk of reward. It just doesn't make sense because that next demand's too far away. It's stupid. It's ridiculous to do that, to be fair. So yeah, if price does break this demand, which I can't really see it doing, it'll be clean, a quick move all the way down to this next demand, and then a few days of consolidation and dancing around. Yeah, US dollar Swiss franc trade. My bias is buys, targeting these, and again, keep an eye on this, right? For yourselves, keep an eye on this. Look how clean this candle is here. That's real nice clean out of that supply. It's not very good supply, but it is supply. That's clean. So we break this high here. We break this level here. You'll have a very nice quickly move to here. TP, bang. Similar to the gold trade that I spoke about. So yeah, that's the US dollar Swiss franc currency pair trade idea. British pound, US dollar, not really too much to talk about because the British pound's a British pound. So we're going to skip that for now, but we will keep an eye on it as the weeks progress. Goldilocks and Three Bears. My nemesis. My nemesis, but also my lover. And I know a lot of you can resemble but it's just a law to its own. It just, what do you want to do, gold? Like, it's all of this is pretty much since like I don't know, like the start of the war in Ukraine and just everything. The value of gold has just gone through the roof because of global economics, politics, and all that rubbish. It's just unbelievable. There's no stopping it. Yeah, I never really thought that these moves were that sustainable without any big pullbacks, to be honest. But then you look back at the Nasdaq and the US 100, the US 30, the Dow. You know, you look back at all them in time, going back to the 60s and 70s, and the market structure it's very similar from the start of time. I know this particular chart isn't from the start of time, but on them, at the start of time, it's just a steady uptrend, steady uptrend. I remember back when I first started trading, we struggled to break the 1800s like so many times. You like look at this here, like just dance sideways for 2 years. Didn't want to do anything on the weekly time frame. So let's look at some gold ideas, which is not going to be easy to look for, guys, to be completely honest with you. But I'll do my best. There's demand here, real good, strong demand. So again, remember, clean traffic to the left, momentum, you will mimic the same move to the right. So what I'm saying, again, break these lows, break this low, you got a good solid move down to that demand. And then that's that there. I'm not saying put your house on it, but that there, definitely put your piggy bank on it with a few coppers in it, because I think that would be a very, very, very good move to hold. Go on to the 4 hour. 4 hours, a bit easier. This was the trade I called last week on gold. I called it like the week before last. Um, yeah, I was quite impressed with it, to be fair. Filled the target. Just, oh, look, near enough to the pip. So this was my target. My buy was, it was here. Pretty much this. I think it was pretty much that, to be fair. And yeah, I was targeting this gap here, which pretty much got filled. So next week, you're going to be probably clear that. You'll get up to here next week. Could go a little bit higher, but then I reckon might have a little steady decline. See how the world gets on first before that scenario. Gold's tricky, guys. To be honest, a few things are tricky this week, if I'm honest with you. Other than the Euro USD and US dollar Swiss franc, I'm also waiting to buy the US dollar Hungarian font as well. That'll be a nice chilled out trade. I like nice chilled out trades. Chilled out is like my vibe. Like I love it. It's got to be chilled. Yeah, gold. See what gold does around around the three 700 no, 3670. Sorry, 3670, 360. Yeah. See what gold's like around these numbers here, and could start getting some nice momentum down. I mean, this demand is extremely strong. It's not been touched yet. It's not been touched yet. It needs to get touched. You would have thought, oh, there's a gap down there, man. Look at that gap there. Look at that. Yeah. Is it going to go that far down? I don't know. Is it going to hit this demand? I don't know. All I'm basically trying to help with is just using all my years of experience and different styles and learning the right way to make an educated guess, well, educated decision into what way we're going to be potentially moving. And yeah, I think we're going to be going down for a few days now. I do. Go down for a few days. Just keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, we'll keep updating and doing what we're doing, guys. So yeah, that is the plan. And during next week, I will talk about the trade updates, the trades that I'm in, do some breakdowns on them. Could even do some scalping sessions, New York Opens, talk about scalping ideas if people don't want to swing trade, people don't want to do supply and demand. There's loads to talk about, loads to talk about. So yeah, that's it really. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.